Hi there, it's Julia Kelly, historical fiction author, sounding a lot less ill than I was when I recorded my pre-NaNoWriMo video, sort of reintroducing my YouTube channel and also talking a bit about my history with National Novel Writing Month. It is now November 1st. I'm feeling well. I'm ready to go. I'm very, very ready to tackle 50,000 words in the month of November. In my previous video, you would have seen that I talked a little bit about having won NaNoWriMo before, having lost NaNoWriMo, although arguably if you get words down on the page, you don't actually lose NaNoWriMo. So today I actually wanted to talk a little bit about starting. Since this is day one, this seems like a great place to start. I haven't started writing yet today because I do have a day job. My laptop's actually updating right now, which is why I'm quickly able to record this video while it's stuck in stasis. But I wanted to talk a little bit about, sitting down with a blank page in front of you and getting started. So just a little bit about my background, used to be a journalist, so the idea of kind of the blank page has never really bothered me hugely because I had to write in order to pay my bills. So it sort of gets you over a lot of the psychological stuff, but I understand why it can be really difficult staring at that blank page. So I heard, and I wish I could remember who gave me this piece of advice, but I heard a bit of advice from somebody once that basically said what you should do is set a timer for 15 minutes and just ask yourself to, for 15 minutes, sit down and write whatever comes to your head. Hopefully going into Nano you have a little bit of an idea, at least a kernel of a story that you'd like to start with, but genuinely if you don't, that's all right as well, because the reality is all you need is a little bit of a boost in order to get yourself going on this challenge. So set your timer for 15 minutes. Tell yourself if you're not able to write after 15 minutes, if you're you just run out of steam, you're allowed to get up from your chair and do something different. For whatever reason, I find that if I'm really stuck and I'm really sitting there and thinking I don't know where to go next in this book, the blank page seems really scary, that 15 minutes really helps me out, because after that amount of time, for whatever reason, I always feel like it doesn't seem so daunting. I at least have something down, and even if that needs to be thrown out, in the future, at least there's something I can edit, which is so much easier than just having a blank page that you're staring at. And that's really what NaNoWriMo is about. You're supposed to just put words down on a page. They do not have to be perfect. In fact, if they are perfect, I think you're one in a million, because the reality is most of us write first drafts for a reason. They are first drafts, they are our first attempt at getting words down, and then we can go back and actually do the editing later. But that is future use problem. You don't have to worry about editing right now. All you need to worry about is getting started. Another technique for getting started that I have used off and on throughout the years, and I have some friends who really, really love it, is the idea of morning pages. So it comes up a lot in a lot of different writing sort of advice guides and different things around journaling. Julia Cameron and The Artist's Way is a big proponent of morning pages, and the argument is what you should do is, before you even make your first cup of coffee, or cup of tea in my case, you take a notebook, and I actually have my morning pages notebook here, and you open it up and you write 3 pages, or for me about 30 minutes worth of whatever you feel like writing. That may just be a completely free-form version of whatever I'm thinking at the moment. It may be part of a story I'm working on, but the idea is to just get you jump-started and to get into the habit of kind of emptying your brain and creating, I guess the term would be creating space for you to be creative in other ways. So kind of taking away all of that self-doubt and all of the, I don't feel like doing this today because I'm tired, and you just get that all out on the page. You close the book, and if you don't want to go back and read it, you never read it again. But I do find, especially in NaNoWriMo, one of the things that I do pretty consistently is use my morning pages in order to kind of jot down ideas for where I want to go next with the book, work through whatever it is that I think is going to be really useful for me to pick up, or I'll sometimes write scenes also. That's a completely valid use of morning pages as well. This is something that you can use however you like, and it is another technique that kind of can help you get jump started. It sounds odd to, start the writing process and get further in the writing process by doing more writing, but it does kind of make sense if you think about it in terms of sort of a muscle that you're exercising. The more you exercise that writing muscle, the easier it becomes to jump in and get started. So good luck with your NaNoWriMo challenges. I'm going to be recording a little bit in the way of updates and giving you guys an idea of how things are going. I haven't started at all for the month of November, so my word count is 0 at the moment. So I'm going to go do some day job work, and then hopefully on my lunch get some words in.